Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everybody. Man, I still need to go through and look at my settings and figure out why it started looking fuzzy. Or maybe I need to reset my internet or something, but it's looking fuzzier. Only in the mornings, though. During the day, when I go live on my other channel, it looks nice and clear. But on the mornings, maybe it's the low lighting. Hmm. Anyway, hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? So, did the time get set back? I just remembered that. I just remember that. Did the clock set back? My clock right here on my computer says 6:13 a.m. here in Vegas. And if you except for Arizona on the West Coast, did the clocks get set back? Let me see what my phone says. I just now remembered that. Yep, my phone says 6:13. My computer says 6:13. There goes hiding comments again. Oops. Hang on. I didn't mean to delete your comment. Hold up. Well, I don't know why it does that, man. I say that every time I come on here and chat, and then I forget to go look at it. My bad. Anyway, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? We gonna think of something cool to talk about today? Or maybe we'll just have a chill Sunday blab fest. I'm gonna set this on my candle. Set it up higher. There we go. There we go. I need to get me a stand here for this or something. Anyway, good morning. How's everybody doing? Mountain time. Oh, in mountain time you don't change time? Oh, okay. I know in Arizona they don't do it. Is Arizona's mountain time, I guess? Is Arizona? What else is mountain time? I know Arizona is, right? Because I've lived in Arizona twice. And then the last time we lived in Arizona, we lived right on the Nevada border. So whenever we would cross the bridge, cross the Colorado River to go to Nevada, it would be different in Nevada than it was in Arizona. And it was always it was confusing because it was the border between Bullhead City and Laughlin. And most of the people lived on the Arizona side. So in order for people to get up and go to work who worked on the Nevada side, that had to be confusing. People would tell us the story all the time, and the time would change. You know, and over there in Laughlin, the people that worked at the casinos and stuff in Laughlin, they would live in Bullhead, and then they would get up and then go to work in Nevada, in the Arizona side. And then whenever the time changed, they would have to set their clocks a certain way. So they said it was real confusing. I was like, man, I bet you it'd be annoying as hell. Okay, so is it not just Arizona then? I don't know. Missouri, Colorado to Kansas City? None of them? Oh, I heard that Arizona was the only state that didn't change time. I might be wrong. I don't know. Changing time is stupid, I think. I think it's stupid. I think it's stupid. I never understood it as a kid. I would always ask, I would always say, why do we set the clocks back? And they would say, because it gets dark earlier. And I'd be like, no, it gets dark earlier because you set the clocks back. You know what I mean? It's one of those things, dude. It's one of the many, 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 many things. I mean, we could sit here and list them off all day. We could sit here the whole hour I'm on here. We could list off different things that have been programmed into our heads. We just don't question it. Just do this and don't question it. You know, do this, don't question it, and you know, and just listen to it and don't ask any questions. You know. So anyway, it's stupid. But it does give us something to look forward to, though. You know, that's another funny programming that it puts in your head. You know, we get to look forward to the clocks getting, at least this time of year, because we get to sleep an extra hour. People who are morning people, I guess, get to sleep an extra hour. I slept in this morning. I got me a solid night's sleep last night. Boy, I got me a rock solid night's sleep. Anyway, howdy doody, Enchanted Cottage. Howdy doody. We got a few of you in here, don't we? What's up? What's up? Well, here I'm being my normal old boring self. My normal old boring self sitting here not doing nothing. That's why I like to get on here and talk and blab. It's fun. Telling stories and talking about motivational stuff. Just the fact that y'all watch it blows my mind. Sometimes I'm like, who the hell wants to sit around and watch me talk? Apparently, there's some of you out there, though. There's some of you out there, so let's do it then. Let's do it then. Hang on, it's incense time. Y'all know how I roll. Hold up. Hold up. All right. It is incense time. You enjoy my talks? Oh, that's good. I enjoy it when the people that I follow go live. I enjoy that too. They probably feel the same way as me, though. Well, not really go live, but when they put videos up, you know what I mean. Because I don't really watch people that go live, honestly. Well, I might do it a little bit more now than I used to, but back in the day, well, we just talked about this yesterday, actually. But back in the day, whenever people would go live, I wouldn't tune in and watch a live stream. I don't know why. It just bothered me. It's like, let me just watch the playback. I was so in the old mindset, the old original YouTube mindset. Back in the day, back in the day when I actually wanted to be a YouTuber, when I very first discovered it, when YouTube was new, maybe it was a year. It'd been around for maybe a year or two when I discovered it and wanted to be a career YouTuber. They didn't have all that live stream shit back then, man. They didn't have all that. It's nothing like it is now. Nothing like it is now. It was completely different. Everything about it was totally different. And let's see. Let me think of some of the old school YouTube things. Your channel. The channel was set up and laid out totally different. You could post video responses. That was a big one. That was a big thing. You could upload a YouTube. You could upload a video on your channel and make a video response. Like you could make a video of yourself and post it in the comment section. You could do that back in the day. That was a thing that they got rid of. I don't know why they got rid of it. It was real popular. Everybody used it. It might have just been too many people getting harassed and bullied or something like that. Too many sensitive people on there that can't take it. Boo-hoo, you're talking bad about me. Probably a bunch of little snowflakes that can't handle it. But it was totally different, dude. And it was not on a phone. You couldn't do it like how you got YouTube. I got my phone plugged in right now. You got YouTube and everything all on the phone, and you do it all on the phone. You had to buy a little camera. And I bought me one of the little flip cams. I had it was this little white square box that was a camera, about the size of a cell phone, a little bit, kind of sort of about the size of a cell phone. And you record your videos on it, and then a USB port would flip out of it, and you would plug that into the USB on your computer, and then load it onto your computer, and then upload it to YouTube. And you had to have special privileges. You had to have special privileges in order to upload videos longer than 15 minutes. But the vast majority of your YouTubers did not upload videos longer than 15 minutes. The vast majority of them did not. 5-10 minutes max, 5-10 minutes max, your average huge channel. The very first person that I ever watched that I ever like subscribed to and started following, he was this weird dude, man. His name was McFry. I don't know if y'all know any of these names from back in the old YouTube days, but he would make these goofy little songs. He'd make these goofy little songs, and people would put in a video response and say, hey, make a song about, I don't know, pouring coffee on your head or something like that. Just something random. And he would get on his little beat maker and make a little beat and then just make these stupid little songs. I pour coffee on my head or something. It was dumb, dude. It was so stupid. But this is the first time that I discovered. And then obviously, once you start following that guy, obviously I discovered Ray William Johnson. I followed him from way back in the early YouTube days. And then that's when I started realizing, hold up, man, hold up. You mean you can do this for money? Are you fucking kidding me? I was in my early 20s. I was like, you can do this as a job and get paid for it? Oh, I want to do this. And like, I wanted like so bad. I wanted to be when I was in my early 20s, and I just was not in a good headspace, and even if it did happen to me back then, I'm glad that nothing I ever did on YouTube popped off back then. I wouldn't have been able to handle it. I probably would have died of a drug overdose or something, you know. Yeah, I probably would have OD'd or something on drugs, or it wouldn't have been good. Wouldn't have been good, you know. But anyway, I don't even remember what the hell I was talking about. Talking about the old dude. Oh, yeah. Okay, so I spun off from talking about live streams. They didn't have live streams back then, you know. So when the live thing very first came onto YouTube, I was still in the old school YouTube mentality. You know, I was still in the old days. I was like, man, this live is stupid. I don't want to watch you live. You don't go live on YouTube. Like, I didn't like it at first. I was like, I'm not watching nobody live. Even when I was following tarot card readers who would go live, I would not watch it while it was live. I would not. If I would, you know, open it and say such and such is live now, I'd be like, all right, I'm waiting. I swear. I was like, all right, I'm waiting. And then the minute it would end and the replay would be up, I would go watch the replay. I just didn't like it. You know, it was weird. Now I just don't really, I don't know. I don't really follow too many people anymore now. Not really. Anyway, what y'all talking? What y'all talking about? I can't even tell what y'all are talking about. I want to do a separate chat channel and chat it. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. There's a bunch of people out there that do it. You know, and for the longest time, everybody told me to do it, and I wouldn't do it. I refused to make a second channel for the longest time, like, because there's so many other people out there that do it. You know, there's so many other people out there that do it. And back in the day, when I very first started, started coming up in the tarot community, it was real competitive. It's real fucking competitive, dude. Everybody was competing and you know, and I didn't like that. I do not like that. I cannot stand that fucking competitive vibe. I don't like that. You know what I mean? I am not here to fucking compete with nobody. I don't give two diddly fucks about your channel or how big your following is or none of that. I don't roll like that, you know? So because there were so many other people that did it, I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing nothing that no other reader is doing. You know what I mean? And it's really, really hard. It's really hard to have that mentality in the tarot community because you're boxed in. You're boxed in. There's only so much original shit you can bring to the table, you know? Well, anyway, and I told you all this several times, but I would do my live readings on Facebook, and them assholes flagged me. They flagged me. They said, we're going to remove your fucking page if you keep doing this. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? For going live with my PayPal link in the description. I'm like, y'all some whores, dude. Are you fucking serious? We will remove your page. Y'all some whores. I don't give a fuck. Y'all some straight up whores. That's a whore move right there, man. I don't give a fuck. You some bitches. All right, then. I guess I'm making a second channel then. So that's the only reason I put this channel up. You know? So here I am. And actually, that was just my stubborn ass back in the day. It's actually really fun to do this. It's real fun. It's actually really fun, dude. It's actually really fun. Nah, you ain't super late, Brittany. I just started. Well, I've been on here about 13 minutes. It flies, dude. When I get on here and start running my mouth, time flies, man. Pew! It's like a whole hour just goes, pew! You know? Find competition weird. I've never been competitive, dude. I never have. Even like when I was a kid, there was a couple of things that I was real good at. I was real good at martial arts. I got my black belt when I was 14. I was real good at almost anything that I set my mind to. But when it came to having to compete, I'm like, I don't want to compete. I don't like that. I don't like competing, you know? And like, take my kids in soccer, for example. This is how uncompetitive I still am. My kids went undefeated on their team. This whole season, they were undefeated. And I would feel bad for the other team. You know what I mean? I would feel like secondhand embarrassment and sadness for the other team because they lost. That's how I am. That's why I can't compete with nobody. You know what I mean? Because even if I beat you, I feel bad for you. Like I do. Like I'm not no arrogant shit. Like I genuinely, I'll feel bad for you. If I beat you, I feel sorry for you. You know, I really do. Like I think competition is so fucking stupid, especially with what we're doing here. With what we're doing here, if you okay, let me just whoever needs to hear this. If you're here competing, if you're in the spiritual community, okay, and you're competing with other people who has the biggest following or who can do this or who can whatever. If you have that, you are not you're in it for the wrong reasons. You are not here for nothing spiritual. I'll tell you that much. You are not here for nothing spiritual. We are here to help people. We're here to help people. I don't give a damn if I have a following of 100, 1,000, or 100,000, or 200,000, or 500,000, or a million. We're here to help people. That's my goal. My only mission in mind is maybe I said something today that at least one person can change their life with. You know, maybe I said something that two people could change their lives with. Maybe that would be really cool if I said something that 10,000 people could change their life with. You know what I mean? See what I'm saying? That at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a human too. I do get wrapped up and caught up in, oh, is my following growing at a good speed, or is my money going to be big this month? You know, and I do get caught up in that. And every time I do that, I got to check myself. Error thought. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Fuck that, you know? But I'm a human too. I'll slip and I catch myself every now and then. I got to, oops, error thought. That don't fucking matter. Who cares, you know? Anyway, I helped you, Enchanted. That's cool. Yeah, I hear it every day. I hear it every day. I appreciate you. Now, like you was saying yesterday, you can pay it forward now. You can pay it forward now because every time we do this, every time, and you have to realize though, man, when you're in this kind of position, you have to realize the type of people that I don't want to say are targeting, but for lack of a better phrase, the type of people that you're targeting. Those of us who are here, especially in the tarot community, are some of the ballsiest ones because we are targeting some of the most broken people out there. That's what our audience is. I'm not saying that every last one of you is broken and fucked up. It's not what I'm saying, but the majority, a lot of the people that come to the tarot who their life, the things in their life, their love life, their money is just, they've just given up hope. They've given up hope and then they turn to us. You know, these people are broken. You don't see happy, successful people with their life together and a happy life and a happy relationship. They ain't watching us. It's the broken people that are watching us, the fucked up people, you know, that are watching us. So that's why we have to really make sure that, you know, your number one priority is to help people. Okay. Your number one priority is to help people. And I guarantee you, we were there too at one point. I know I was. And honestly, if you say you weren't, I really don't believe you. I really honestly don't believe you if you say you weren't, if you were never in that broken place one time, or else you wouldn't even be here. You know what I mean? We were all there, every last one of us. Some worse than others, like I said. I'm not saying that every single one of you out there is just broken and at rock bottom, but there's a lot of them out there. There's a lot of them out there. A lot of very, very broken people at rock fucking bottom. They're out there. And those are the people that we're here to help. Those are the people that we're here to help. Even if it's just planting a seed in their head. Even if it's just planting a seed, you know? Yep. Yeah, I was pretty broken too. I am very familiar with rock bottom. Very familiar with that place. Very familiar with that place. And, you know, there's this saying that goes around a lot. Rock bottom teaches you lessons that the top of the mountain never will. And I always take a step back every time I hear somebody say that. And I'm like, yeah, it does. That's true. But are you saying that to justify you being at rock bottom? Because I've met some people who will say that just to feel justified at rock bottom, you know, because they're too lazy to get up and climb the mountain. I do think that it is very necessary. It's very necessary for everybody. Well, maybe not everybody. It is necessary And it's worth the experience to experience rock bottom at least once. When I say rock bottom, boy, I'm talking about rock bottom, boy. I'm not talking, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. It's necessary to experience that once, but experience it and get the fuck up and start climbing that mountain, dude. You know what I mean? Experience that right. Too many people get addicted to it. They get addicted to it and they just get too lazy. They get too lazy to get up and start climbing that mountain of evolution and ascension and success. And you know what I mean? And I have seen so many people who get addicted to rock bottom and too lazy to climb, and it kills them. Kills them. They're dead. When I was at rock bottom, when I was at my lowest, I can only count like when I was at my lowest, especially when I was homeless and living in that period of my life, I can only count like 2 or 3 people that I know that are still alive. They're dead, man. They're dead. D-E-A-D, dead. It killed them. All of them. Every last one of them. None of them are alive now. All those people that were on the streets with me when I was homeless, you know, all the friends that I made, all the times that I had, they're all dead now. They didn't survive. They didn't get out of it because they were too addicted to rock bottom. They were too addicted to it. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Oh, hell yeah. Our path leads us to those places for reasons. Absolutely, Virgo Earth. Absolutely. I tell every time we touch on this, I can't think, and I know we touch on this a lot. I repeat myself a lot. I'm sorry. But every time we touch on this, I will say the same thing. I don't regret a fraction of my experience. Not a fraction of it. Not a fraction of it. I like, even if you was to put a time machine in front of me, Rich, dude, you can go back and change whatever. Go back and redo whatever. Go back and change any. It's all yours. The power's in your hands to go back and change anything. I would say shove that time machine up your ass. Shove it up your ass. Shove it straight up your ass. I ain't going back and changing nothing. Not a fraction. Not a single person that lied to me and fucked me over. Not a single night that I spent freezing to death on the streets. Not a nothing. I wouldn't change nothing, man. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all. I wouldn't be sitting here in the position that I'm in, you know. I wouldn't be able to do that if I went back and changed even a fraction of it. And I can think of many things, man. You know what? If I would have done this, I wouldn't have gone through that. Well, no shit. That's why you went through it, so you could learn that, you know. Wouldn't change none of it, man. Yes, it's all part of the journey. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, though. Anyway. You have too much fear for rock bottom? I was afraid of it too. I don't know. I think I manifested it with my fears. This is where it gets convoluted. This is where the rabbit hole will get real deep, real deep. Are you manifesting it? Are you foreseeing it? Or both? Think about that. Did I manifest that with my fears? Or did I foresee it and knew that it was coming? Or was it both at the same time? So, yeah, hey, I know there's some of you out there that have run through that thought. You know, you get this real fucked up feeling that something bad's about to happen. And then it happens. You know, did I manifest that? Did I foresee it coming? Or was it both at the same time? Or was it even more than that? Was it even more complex than that? You know? Yep. But I was afraid of it too. Oh, I was scared of it. Oh, I was horrified. But you know what I was scared of? I was scared of how embarrassing it would be. That's what I was scared of. I was scared of how embarrassing it would be to be at rock bottom, to be homeless and just be a worthless, no good, scum of the earth bum. I was afraid of what people would think. I was afraid of my ego. My ego got damaged is what it was, you know? And then after I spent some time there, I kind of realized it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Not as bad. I don't fear it now like I used to. I don't fear it now like I used to. I think I have a very healthy stance on it now. You know, I'm not afraid of it. I'm not afraid of losing everything. It's not a fear of mine, you know. That doesn't mean that I want to lose everything. You know, I will do everything in my power to make sure that I don't. But if was like, if something happens and it's out of my hands, and obviously the universe wants me to lose everything and go back to the streets again, then okay, then that's what it is then. All right, whatever. That's what it is. I'll survive. I'll survive. I've been through it enough times to know I'll survive, you know? And that's another cool thing too. One of my favorite things too on the streets, I'd be on the streets and there'd be some older people, you know, and listening to their stories, you know. And I can remember thinking, and people would even tell me, I was in my 20s at the time, and they were like, "You got a lot of life left, man. You don't need to be on these streets like this." And I was thinking, man, I ain't even experienced nothing yet. I haven't experienced anything in life yet. I can remember thinking that. So even if one of these days I was to completely and totally lose everything, you know what? You know what? My experience at the top of the mountain would be a fun story to tell. It'd be a fun story to tell. It'd be a real fun story to tell. See what I'm saying? There's something that it does to your energy. There's something that it does to your energy and your whole life path as you're carving it out. Whenever you stop living in fear and you stop living in regret, you stop fearing what could happen and you stop regretting what did happen. And you eliminate those two energies. You know, whenever you figure out how to do that, or whenever, like with me, for me as an Aquarius, it's really hard to figure out how to change my perspective sometimes. I'm way better at it now than I used to be. But so typically, those of us fixed signs, the universe has to put its boot to our back. The universe got to put its boot to your back to get you, you know, keep applying pressure and applying pressure and applying pressure. I don't care who you are. I don't give a damn who you are, man. I don't care what your sign is. Don't you ever think that if the universe wants you to learn something, you're gonna learn it. Oh yeah, you will. Whatever it takes. The universe gonna make sure you're gonna learn that lesson. I was one of them. I thought I could outsmart it. I thought I could do things my way. The universe wants you to learn a lesson. You're gonna learn it. Boy, you're gonna learn it. Yes, you will. I still help you, Enchanted. That's cool. Oh, y'all like that video? My manifestation video? Yeah, I got a couple more up my sleeve. I just felt the calling. I don't know why I went ahead and just something kept. It's actually been going for about a month now. I've been having that little voice in the back of my head. You know, you need to start putting more manifestation videos up. And I would argue with it. My ego would be like, I've already said everything there is to say. I don't have anything new to say. So I battled that voice for a month or two, and it just kept getting louder and louder. And when it starts getting louder and louder like that, I've learned to go ahead and listen to it. So the past couple of manifestation videos I put up, I go back and rewatch them, and I'm like, oh, wow. I have a totally different way of explaining this now than I did last year. You know, I wasn't explaining it like that last year. Okay, I see why I got the calling to do that now. Because I've said it so many times over and over and over that I've just come up with new ways of explaining it. And that's always been my goal, dude. That's always been my goal. Because I can remember when I was on my path, I would be binge watching, you know, videos on manifestation, law of attraction. I would binge watch. I was like a sponge. I mean, sponge isn't even the word. Like, my brain was impervious to the intake of knowledge, and you couldn't tell me enough. But there was something that ate at me. There's something missing here. I just could not shake that feeling, no matter how many hours of research that I did, no matter how many videos I watched, no matter who I listened to. Something is missing here. There's something more that needs to be explained here. I'm thirsty for it. I'm hungry for it. I need the person to say that one thing that makes it click. You know, that was my whole And I always told myself, you know what? And I would get mad. I would get kind of pissed off. Like, are they doing this on purpose? Or, I would get kind of mad. I'm like, man, you know what? If I'm ever in a position to put content like on the internet that reaches a mass number of people, I'm going to explain it in a way that none of these people have. And I promised myself that I would. So that's my goal, man. I got to live up to my promise. I got to live up to my promise. If I can help smooth the path out, that same path that I was on, for anybody else that's on that path, and help smooth it out so that you all can figure out how to start walking the path faster and not go through as many of the obstacles that I went through, unnecessary obstacles. Because I went through a lot of unnecessary obstacles because there's a lot of things about the manifestation journey that they just weren't really explained. I feel, I could be wrong, but I just don't really feel like they were explained very well, So you have to want it, though. You have to want it. You have to want it. Okay. And so for those of you who want it, for the people who are thirsty for the knowledge, that's what I hope to be able to do. And you all say that I'm good at doing it, so I appreciate the positive feedback. But if you don't want it, though, that's a totally different story. Totally different story. If you're one of those people that doesn't want it, if you are one of those people who is addicted to toxicity, and you're addicted to you don't ever plan on giving up your addiction to negative low frequencies, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to the people who are addicted to, being angry, addicted to being angry. Believe it or not, y'all, believe it or not, it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. But do you know, and I'm not even playing with you. It took me almost a full year to wrap my mind around this. Do you know that there are people out there who spend all of their time, they dedicate all of their time to watching people that they hate? You know that? Swear. They dedicate hours of their day to obsessively watching people and things on the internet that they hate, that makes them angry, on purpose, because they're addicted to anger. Swear. They're out there, dude. They are out there. They're in bigger numbers than you would think, too. Now, they're not the majority. They're not in any way, shape, form, or fashion the majority. They're outnumbered probably. They're probably about 10%, 10 to 20%, but they're out there. Oh yeah, they're addicted to being angry. They're addicted to being pissed off and angry, and when they can't find things to be mad at, they make it up. They make it up in their head. Yep. And I'm not talking to those people, because I know there's at least one or two of you watching me right now. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who are actually, they don't like negativity. I don't like being angry. I don't like being miserable. I don't like, you know what I mean? I just don't like that. I want to figure out how to get up out of that and manifest a life that I do enjoy, happiness, love, and prosperity, and peace, and abundance, and freedom. Those are the people that I'm talking to, Blind faith. Yep. Hey, that's a good way to, yes, Miss Jones. There you go. Blind faith. That's, yep. Pretty much. I love the way Bob Proctor describes it. He says, Steve Jobs didn't know how he was going to make this until after he made it. See what I'm saying? You're not going to know the how until after looking back. That's one of the reasons why I tell my story. And that's one of the reasons why my story is so fascinating. You're not going to know the how until afterwards looking back. Oh, that makes sense now. You connect the dots. It's cool. Yeah, I would have to say that if I was to, if my memory serves me correctly, I would have to say that Bob Proctor was probably, let me think. He's not the first person that I discovered He's not the first person that I discovered, but I think he was the first person that really started explaining things in a way that really made me buy into the process, really made me buy into it, Like I said, the first person that I ever found was Terry Rose. Terry Rose. And she, like I said, I was sitting there at McDonald's that one day and I stumbled across her video. And I even go back and watch that video. For those of you, I don't want to tell the story all over again. I was homeless in a homeless shelter, and I was playing around with my phone in McDonald's using their Wi-Fi to watch YouTube videos, and I accidentally found a law of attraction video. And I go back and watch it, and I'm like, what about that video caught my attention? I don't even know. Nothing special about it, It's just like a little 4 or 5 minute video. And I'm like, what exactly about that caught my eye or caught my mind or I don't even know. But it was definitely a divine, it's like the universe put it there for you. You know what I mean? Check this out. Click on this video, But she was the first person that I discovered. And then after that period, let's see, that was the beginning of 2016. And then near the end, and I started playing around. From that point forward, I started playing around with manifesting little things, And I was still homeless, got up out of the homeless shelter, and I took baby steps from rock bottom all the way up, And then Bob Proctor was the second person. He was the second person that I ever stumbled upon that, you know what I mean? And I really bought into it even more so at that point, But anyway, you don't remember how you came across me, Leandro? There you go. Yeah, man. So it seems like some of the most important people, like the mind mastery school that I ended up attending. I just saw a random video get recommended. Somebody like shared a video in a group in Facebook that says former NASA scientist explains the truth about energy or something like that. And I was like, ooh, this dude's cool. And ended up digging a rabbit hole deep, found out that he had a mind mastery school. And yeah, I took the courses. I paid to take the courses. I could barely fucking afford it. I was broke as hell, making minimum wage, But at that point, I started realizing that, don't worry about money. Don't worry about money. Spend it. Spend it. One of these days, I'm going to be able to wipe my ass with the money that this course costs, that it costs to take this, So yeah, and that was just random, totally fucking random. I wasn't even looking for it. That's the thing. I wasn't even looking for any law of attraction material. I was just sitting around bored one day, aimlessly scrolling Facebook, doop, doop, doop. And then all of a sudden, what's that? That's how the most important people and the most important things will come to you. That's why it's so important. The trickiest part is learning how to stop thinking about it and just let it flow. It's tricky. It's hard. It sounds easy. And I think the majority of the people, when they hear you say that, they're like, oh, whatever. And they don't even try it, But for those of you who actually get in there and start flipping switches and turning knobs and whatnot, for those of you that actually do that, you'll see that if you can figure out how to flip that switch off and let it go, it's not as easy as it sounds, first of all. Second of all, that's what makes the magic happen. That is what makes the magic happen. Yep. Still working on patience. Yep. Patience is, well, here's the reason why patience is so important. Okay. Let's talk about frequency equalization, because somebody brought it up yesterday and I never ended up talking about it. Let's talk about frequency equalization. Okay. Let's go ahead and use some of the things that are a part of your life right now. This is the best way to do it. Okay. It's the best way to do it. Do you own a car? Do you have a car sitting out in the driveway? What does it feel like to own that car? Think about it. What does it feel like? Don't think about it. It's out there. I'm kind of tired of it, right? This is where you have to be with something big that you don't have any evidence of. This is where you have to be in your mind in order to equalize the frequency. And if I'm feeling impatient, I'm not on the frequency of having what I want if I'm impatient. I'm not on the frequency because you don't need to, um, what's the word? You don't need to hurry up and want something to happen that's already happened. You see what I'm saying? Makes sense? I thought that I would be able to think of a more efficient way to explain that. But oh, somebody use this example. Somebody use this example. Whenever we went to pay for the venue that we're going to have the wedding at, the dude who we talked to that set everything up for us, he actually is a relationship counselor and he's real big into law of attraction. And we were like, oh, that's cool. That, you know what I mean? So we ended up sitting and talking, and he was giving me a bunch of his views and perspectives. And he said one thing that is an awesome example. When you're on Amazon, and you see, ooh, I like that hat. Ooh, I like that shirt, or whatever. And then you click buy now, swipe. It's over. It's done. It's going to be on your doorstep tomorrow or the next day. So you forget about it. Swipe. As soon as you swipe, you know it's coming. And I was like, that is a perfect example. I don't need to sit around and wonder who, what, when, where, why, how's it going to happen? Oh, what might not happen? Swipe, it's coming. Think about it every now and then, but for the most part, it's coming. I don't need to think about that. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. It's coming. And I can remember, that's a perfect example because that's where I had to be mentally when I was making minimum wage at a car wash. I was making minimum wage at a car wash, and I'm having to reconstruct how I feel about money. It took me about almost a full year, somewhere 6 months to a year, to where I know money is coming. I don't need to worry about money. Don't need to worry about this. Oh, a mind mastery course of the science of manifestation, $400. Okay. I'll be able to wipe my ass with this $400. That's cool. And then when I'm building my business, oh, okay. Buy some software for 30 to 60 bucks a month. You know what? Let's get the $60 a month one. I don't need it. I'm good. Money's coming. I don't know how. I don't know when. It doesn't matter. I can afford it. See, this is when we're in the broke mentality. It's I can't afford that. I can't afford that. I can't afford that. And if I keep saying I can't afford that, the universe mirrors back to me, you can't afford that. Your wish is my command. See what I'm saying? It's a frequency. That I can't afford that is a frequency. And this is one of the things that I learned in that mind mastery school that I went to. Money is an energy. It's not pieces of paper that buy you things. It's an energy. Okay? If you are on the frequency of not wanting to pay money, then you're not ever going to. If you're on the frequency of clamping onto your money because you don't want to pay for it, pay for something because you're clamping onto your money, that's the frequency of the lack of money. You will never manifest money anyway. That he's like, this is why it costs money to buy my courses. I don't need your money. I don't need your money. But if you want to learn how to manifest money, you have to get on that frequency of being able to allow money to flow. Because to be on the frequency of an abundance of money, you know what I mean? Does that make sense? You have to be on the frequency now. So when I was making minimum wage, what broke people do? I was below the poverty line my whole adult life, y'all. I know. Trust me. We go to the grocery store. Man, I got to get eggs, cheese, milk, and bread. I can't. Oh, man, dude. Ooh, yes, there's a good deal down here. $1 for a loaf of bread, And we're clamping onto the money and clamping and squeezing onto it and clinging onto it for dear life. It's an ebb and flow. An ebb and flow. An ebb and flow. You have to be able to allow it to flow out because you know it's going to come back. You know it's going to come back. Okay? Same reason why you tip your waiter. A good fat ass tip. Because what you're doing is you're saying to the universe, I don't need that. I don't need the money that bad. I can afford it. We need to get on the frequency of, I don't need money. I can afford it. Because most of us, when we're on the broke frequency, we're on the frequency of, I need money. I can't afford that. We can't be saying, I need money. I can't afford that. Because the universe says, you're absolutely right. You need money. You can't afford that. Your wish is my command. You see what I'm saying? And it's tricky. It's tricky because it's so deep rooted underneath of our subconscious and our conscious awareness to reverse manifest money everywhere we go. Every decision we make is based on what we can't afford. Think about it. Think about it. Every decision that we make, whether it's the outfit that we're wearing or the clothes or the food that we have in our cabinets, you know, the car that we drive, we make every decision based on what we can't afford. See what I'm saying? Unwiring that is very tricky. Very tricky. It's very tricky. And just simply doing that in and of itself isn't going to make $1 million come knock on your door. So you have to do this in tandem with picking a path and walking the path. It's tricky. Once you get the hang of it, especially once you get over the first hump and you start seeing results, oh, this does work, then it gets easier. But it's tricky. It gets tricky. I got to pick a path and I got to start walking. All right. How to start an online business. Bam. All right. I'm going to do it then. I'm going to do it. I make minimum wage. I'm broke. I can't afford to do this, but you know what? I'm going to do it. So I buy some web hosting. I go partner with Amazon and I build me a website that has a bunch of affiliate products, me promoting certain products that have an Amazon affiliate link. And I go how to use Google Ads. You know, and I'm going to go take some courses and some seminars on how to work with Google Ads. And I'm going to start advertising. Video ads. So I can put up a video of me and I'm the person that you see on YouTube when that ad plays. When that ad plays before a video, it's me on the ad, you know, advertising this product or this website. And then if somebody clicks on it and buys it, I get a commission. Got to pick some kind of path and start walking in tandem with reversing your subconscious mind when it comes to money. I got to pick a path, start walking, hand it over to the universe, and stop worrying about money. I'm going to walk the path like I already have it. I'm going to carve that path and I'm going to walk it like I already have it. I am successful. I am successful, self-employed. I'm an entrepreneur. Start telling everybody now. Start saying it. Yep, I'm an entrepreneur. You know, oh, are you? What do you do? I'm affiliate marketing. You know, just start walking the path, and it feels weird, dude. It feels so fucking weird. And if you can, like me, I lived in a little teeny town at the time. Teeny. I shit you not, you could walk from one end of town to the other in like 10 minutes. It was so small. Up in New England, little teeny New England town. I started going around because the girl that I was dating, it's one of those towns where everybody knows everybody. So she was friends with a lot of the people who own businesses in that town. And I started befriending them, you know, and started seeing the world through their eyes of somebody who owns their own business, who is their own boss. How do you look at money? How do you look at business? How do you look at life? How do you look at the world? And I would, you know, does that make sense? Just got to pick that path and start walking it, dude. Start identifying as successful. Start identifying as, you know what I mean? That makes sense, man. Makes sense. Anyway, though, that's the path. That's how it's done. Now, everything as far as the inner workings of the mechanics of the energy and how all that works, I explain that too in very great detail, which is what I do in like my manifestation videos. But essentially, in a nutshell, that is the path. Pick a path and start walking, release it and let it go and let the universe do the rest. Let the universe do the rest. You will end up coming across the people that you need will be brought to you. The little learning experiences, even the obstacles. Some bad things will happen. They're not bad things. Everything that happens from that point, from the minute you say to yourself, I'm going to manifest something. And I know I always use money as the example, but from the minute you say, I'm going to manifest something, I'm going to manifest a successful business. You make that decision, you pick the path, you start walking. The minute you set off down the path, everything that happens is part of the journey that it takes to get you there. And you have to know that. You have to know that. Are you ready? Are you really ready to completely change your life around? because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. People are going to start drifting out of your life. It's possible that you could end up losing your job. Just know from the minute you set off down the path, your life is going to start changing. But most people are scared of change. Most people are scared of change. They don't want things to change. Oh, I can't lose my connection with this person, or oh, I can't go through this. So they try to cling on to it and control everything and keep everything in their life within their comfort zone. If you're working on a B-type manifestation, dude, nothing in your comfort zone is going to bring you what it is you're wanting to manifest, or you would have had it a long time ago. You're going to be out of your comfort zone. Because if you want to manifest something that is unlike anything you have ever experienced before, it's going to demand a totally different version of you. Because the version of you that is here and now, the only thing that version knows how to create is what you don't want, obviously, or you would have what you want. So in order to create something that I've never had before, as this version of me is not going to do it. This version of me that has these thoughts and these beliefs and these feelings and these opinions, obviously these thoughts, beliefs, feelings, and opinions are not sufficient enough to figure out how to create what it is that I want, or I would already have it. So that version of me that does have what I want, I'm going to have to start changing these thoughts, these feelings, these beliefs, and these opinions. I'm going to have to become somebody else. Dr. Joe Dispenza says it every time. Everyone wants to create a new personal reality as the same personality, and it doesn't work. You literally have to become someone else. You literally, when he says literally, he means literally rewriting the chemistry of your own brain with your own thoughts. Yep. We got to undo that old programming. Every last one of us here was born and brought up in the third dimensional system. Every last one of us was programmed, some of us better than others, but we were all programmed those third dimensional viewpoints and perspectives and beliefs. And every last one of us, if we want to get up out of that and create a life of freedom and abundance and happiness, we're going to have to unwire all those old belief systems, all those old opinions and feelings and whatnot. We have to unwire them and replace them with a new perspective. That is never going to be a fun process. It's never going to be a fun process. Just like if there's any of you out there who are a little overweight, you're not satisfied, you got some extra body fat and you're overweight, you want to lose weight. Obviously, you're going to have to start eating healthy and getting active and putting yourself through painful physical activity. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun. It's fun to sit around and be lazy and not do nothing and eat good, tasty foods that are horrible for us. That's fun. But just because something's fun and comfortable doesn't mean that it's not toxic as fuck. Same thing with anything else that you want to manifest. It's not going to be fun rewiring your habits. There is no habit that's fun to break. There's no habit that's fun to form. It's never fun. But how bad do you want it? That's the thing. How bad do you want it? You have to want it bad enough. You have to want it bad enough. If that discomfort of change is greater than what it is that you want to change, what it is that you want to change must not be bad enough. You have to be so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm so done with being here in life. I'm so done with rock bottom. I'm so sick of it that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. I'm willing to go through any amount of discomfort, any amount of, it's going to be embarrassing, any amount of discomfort that it takes for me to get up out of this and create something new. It's not nearly as bad as staying in this spot where I'm at my whole life. See what I'm saying? That makes sense. Makes sense. Well, we sure got on a good tangent this morning, didn't we? We sure did. We sure did. Yeah, I experimented with drugs and alcohol too. Yep. Most of us did, especially if we're star seeds. Most of us did that. Yep, we all about empowering people. Well, at the end of the day, again, we have to understand for those of you who are out there who want to help people, you have to understand that at the end of the day, they have to want it. They have to want to be empowered. They have to want to change. They have to want to. Do not bother with those people who don't want to. Don't bother with them. Those people that are out there who are dedicated, like you, don't bother with them. The people that are dedicated to fighting against you and arguing, and they're addicted to their negativity. They're addicted to being angry. They're addicted to being hateful. They're addicted to, don't bother with, you cannot empower those people. At the end of the day, we have to empower ourselves. We have to empower ourselves, but we have to be guided. You know, I like to look at myself and those of you who are helping people as like a searchlight. You know, I'm a light. Boom, there's the path. Here's how you find it, shining light on the path. You know, it's like we're all walking a path in the dark. Somebody has to shine a light on the path, you know? So don't get caught up in trying to help somebody who is dedicated to not wanting it, because there are a lot of them out there. There's nothing you can tell them. They'll fight against you. There's nothing you can tell them. They will argue with you. There's nothing you can tell them. They will dedicate their energy to fighting against you and arguing with you because they don't want it. They don't want to change. They don't want to better their life. And if they don't want it, there's nothing you can say. I promise you. Nothing you can say. Only bother with the people who say, you know what? How did you do that? I want to learn. Oh, you really want to learn? You really want to learn how it's done? Okay. Only bother with those people. They become really, really easy to point out after a while. After a while, you can kind of tell there's this energy. There's this energy. It's like, I wish I could think of a good way to describe it. But you can tell. You can tell in the look in somebody's face. I can vibe you out in less than 5 seconds now. Like in person, when we're talking, you know, if we touch on this subject, I can touch on the subject 5-10 seconds. I can tell if you'll be receptive or not. I can tell. And it's very rare. Most people are not. Most people are not. But that's fine. You can plant a little seed. Plant a little seed. That's what you do with just plant a seed. And then you can tell, ooh, okay. Okay, let's plant some more seeds, you know? That makes sense? Bogs your energy. Yeah, it can bog your energy down if you try to spend too much time around those kind of people. You know, that's one of the things that it went with Leah. She's really, really been she's on that part of the journey now where because whenever you set off on this path, dude, you're gonna realize how dead asleep people are. You're gonna realize there are so many people out there who are addicted to manifesting toxicity into their life, so much so that they will completely fight you because they don't want to change. And when you realize how many people are out there like that, oh yeah, it will be very draining, very draining, very draining just to be around people. Just to be around people, because everything that comes out of their mouth will be, I'm manifesting lack. You know, you'll start hearing it and somebody could just open their mouth and start talking, and all you'll hear is lack, 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 poor me, lack, lack, and they're just manifesting lack into their lives, and they don't understand it and they don't care. They are so swallowed up by the programming of reverse manifesting in their life. They're so swallowed up and just engulfed in manifesting lack, manifesting misery, manifesting nothing. And they're so swallowed up by it that they will fight you. They will fight you if you try to give them any information that'll break that foundation that they've built. And it can bog you down. Oh, big time. Oh, yes, it can. Oh, yes, it can. Oh, yeah, it can, man. Because then it gets to a certain point, once you've been on the path for so long, especially when you really walking the path is one thing. But when you get over your first hump and you start manifesting that abundance into your life, you know, you got money flowing in, you got like good relationships, you know that you just really start actually seeing the results in your life. And then you spend time around people who are just totally swallowed up by manifesting, reverse manifesting, basically. You see what I mean by that now? Um, you can't even hold a conversation with them. Can't even, like, there's nothing I can say to you. We're so vibrationally off that I can't, I'm having to dumb my conversations down and just lowering my frequency to that dumb frequency is very draining. It will bog you down big time, big time. Hmm. Oh yeah, it will. Oh yeah, it will. Hell yes, it will. Hmm. Yep, yep, yep. So anywho, about time for me to get out of here, y'all. We just hit that hour mark. I don't know why. I always set I always set it for myself that I'm going to be on here for an hour. So we just hit that hour mark. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I would like to be able to get a bunch of work done on my main channel today. So hopefully I can think of something cool to put on there. Weekly forecast, or maybe finish up my little quick message videos or something like that. Anyway, though, I'm out of here. I wish y'all love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.